Okay, before we start, I think I want to share one thing, which I thought I'll cover. When I got married, actually I keep remembering my father very often. When I got married, I was very young, 23, and so he told me, and that has been my mantra, actually speaking, that whenever I have to do something, I kind of weigh it against that. He said, when there are, and he's not talking of the novel philosophy of life. He said, as a human being, you have responsibilities. Okay. So first and foremost, your responsibility is towards yourself, self-preservation, and your ability to do what you like. And he's not saying in the order of priority. Second is, because you are born through us, you have a responsibility towards us as parents, and you must pay attention to that. Third is, when you join a service, irrespective of what you are doing, it gives you a means of living, and therefore you have a responsibility to that service. Which one are the services? So if you are a chaprasi, you are a chaprasi. You have to responsible towards chaprasi. Fourth is, when you get married, you brought somebody else's daughter from their house into your household. So you have a responsibility towards her, because she has made that sacrifice to come into your house. And when you have children, because you have decided to bring them into this world, you have a responsibility towards your children. Now he says, there is never a time in your life when all five will compete with each other. There will never be a time when all five will compete with each other. Okay. Whenever a situation comes when there is a competition between one of these five, you have to make that call, which is on priority today and what is on priority tomorrow, and what is on priority 1 month later, and what is on priority 2 years later. So you have to decide your priorities, and you have to be responsible for those priorities. He says the best of people in the world will be able to succeed on 3 priorities. Okay. So you have to make sure that you focus yourself and keep yourself clearly, your mental framework clearly defined as to what you want to do at what point in time. So from that perspective, we look at life. I think it becomes much easier. When you are growing up, you are yourself, your service, and your parents. You divide your time between the 3. When you get married, the complexity becomes different, but you've risen somewhere en route and your challenges are higher. Maybe you're in command, you're not in command, you're aspiring for command, you've got to write exams. So maybe at that point in time, your parents are still not very old. They come into a lower priority. Then you have children, suddenly your children and your wife goes out of the circuit, and your children and your job and your parents come into the circuit. So at every point in time, you got to manage this entire environment of how you prioritize, reprioritize, and by and large to remain happy. You're not fighting or you're not competing with anybody. You're just trying to remain happy and still enjoy life, and be a responsible person to that priority. So today, let's say if I have to I'm looking at the service, my wife and my mother. My children are out of the loop. So I think that's where this is something which I think there is a need to mull over this in your own mind, discuss with your wife, spouse, and look at this issue. So I thought this is one thing which is worth looking at.